Fox News Alert, our nation's busiest port of entry on our southern border, back open at this hour after hundreds of migrants stormed the border, hurling rocks and bottles at Border Patrol agents.
There's a lot of misinformation being spread about the migrant caravan as it arrives at the southern border of the United States. The truth is, we have completely shut off an entire border, and the Customs and Border Patrol officers have started tear gassing immigrants. Predictably, just like with all the previous instances of incredible brutality, conservatives have started downplaying the violence.
And then they fired the tear gas. Is that warranted?
Absolutely. And to clarify, the type of deterrent being used is OC pepper spray. It's literally water, pepper, with a small amount of alcohol for evaporation purposes. It's natural. You could actually put it on your nachos and eat it.
It's just natural, dude. You know, like mustard gas. You can put it on your hot dog and eat it. Please, if you're a conservative out there and you think that it's like totally fine to get fucking tear gassed, please let me tear gas you on camera. Oh my God. But even beyond downplaying the international war crimes, some right-wing blogs started floating the idea that the photos of migrants getting tear gassed were actually staged. Imagine trying to portray this as an invasion so desperately that you literally are claiming that they're staging photos and stuff. These people, their brains are just broken, dude. Just absolutely broken brained. And speaking of broken brains, desperate to get any media attention, Tomi Lahren went so far as to mention that watching children and their mothers get tear gassed was the highlight of her Thanksgiving, which is just one of the most pathetic things I've ever read in my entire life. Like, how much do people hate you that this was your highlight on Thanksgiving? Like, how sad is your life, dude? But for tonsillitis, that wasn't even enough. This is how she reacted to an asylum seeker reporting on the poor conditions in a migrant camp. Now, keep in mind, this is one asylum seeker, okay?
She stated the food she'd been given in the camp was fit for pigs and that she would die of hunger if she didn't eat it. Apparently tortillas and refried beans aren't good enough for these so-called asylum seekers. Imagine that.
Imagine berating an asylum seeker for telling a reporter how terrible the food was as you live in your luxury Los Angeles apartment getting paid to say racist shit like this, thinking that migrants are asking for too much. Conservatives literally don't think that these refugees are human beings, dude. They just don't. Why else would they watch images of Border Patrol tear gassing innocent civilians, claim it's okay, then exclusively focus on how many times Obama also did this?
Now, there's fairly recent precedent for doing that. In 2013, a group of about 100 people tried to rush the very same border crossing at San Ysidro. American authorities forced them back with pepper spray. Barack Obama was president at the time, and the incident passed with little notice.
Yes, Obama did bad things on immigration. Does that make it more humane now that Trump is doing this? This only makes sense if you look at politics exclusively as a team sport and you don't really care about the outcomes of legislation and executive decisions. A humanitarian crisis doesn't get any less brutal no matter which letter is next to the politician's name. Of course, the determining factor here, and I cannot mention this, I cannot stress this enough times, is that conservatives do not view these people as men and women and children escaping violence, but as a lifeless horde of animals who are actually asking for this violence.
Dozens of migrants attacked U.S. border enforcement by throwing rock and bottles. Ultimately, American authorities had to use tear gas to stop the attacks.
And apparently 4 CBP officers were hit with rocks. You know what you do in that instance, dude? You step back. It's literally a war crime to retaliate with lethal force to rocks, okay? I don't give a what Donald Trump says. Look, as Aisha Siddiqui says, every border implies the violence of its maintenance. And apparently for our southern border, the violence will only continue to escalate as our elected officials and partisan media outlets consistently lie without any evidence that these people are criminals. It says a lot about a person who's choosing to walk 1,000 miles to freedom and prosperity to ensure the security of their child's freedom. It also says a lot about us, what we choose to do when that person arrives at our borders. We knew this caravan was coming for a month. We absolutely had the capacity to send buses, processing agents, and deal with these asylum seekers in a humane way. But instead, Trump chose to spend $200 million to move the military over to the border as a flex and then close the border in its entirety and then gas their children. Now, I understand fearing the unknown, especially if you're being inundated with misinformation all around Facebook and all around social media and everywhere you consume your news, but in the face of this much violence, you really have to stop and ask yourself, is this really the side that I'm on? Should we draw the line at international war crimes? Should we draw the line at tear gassing asylum seekers and their children and forcibly shutting off the border? I'm Hasan Piker. If you're outraged by all of the lies and misinformation, please share this video with your friends and and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you want to have a longer conversation about this, I'm live at my Twitch at twitch.tv/HasanAbi every single day after 5 p.m. Pacific. And please go and join TYT membership to help fund our operation at tyt.com/Hasan. That's tyt.com/HASAN. And this has been The Breakdown. You like this video? Great. Never miss another breakdown video by hitting the subscribe button below, and also ring the bell to get notified whenever we publish a new one.